Friends, today is 184th birth anniversary of Professor George Bühler. Professor Bühler was one of the pioneering Indologists of 19th century. He was born on 19th July 1837 near Hanover in Germany. He studied Sanskrit, Greek, and subjects like archaeology in University of Göttingen. He completed his PhD, which was on Greek grammar actually, in 1858. But then his interest in Sanskrit and Indian studies grew more and more. He went to Paris to study Sanskrit manuscripts. Afterwards, he went to London to study manuscripts. He also assisted Professor Max Müller for preparing index to his famous History of Sanskrit Literature. During that time, he was looking for an opportunity to come to India. He was so desperate to visit India that later he told his students that he would have accepted to become even a merchant's agent to come to India. So much he was desperate about that because he wanted to see this country with his own eyes, because he wanted to study Indian culture and Indian literature. He arrived in India in 1863. Fortunately, he was appointed as the first professor of Oriental languages at the Elphinstone College in Mumbai. He was transferred to Deccan College in 1866, and for 1 year he taught in Deccan College as well. During that time, the Bombay government placed at his hands a grant of almost rupees 5,000 to procure Sanskrit manuscripts. He at that time made a tour in southern Maharashtra and northern Karnataka, which was a part of Bombay Presidency at that time. So southern Bombay Presidency. He visited towns like Kolhapur, Sangli, Satara, and even Dharwad. He formulated a kind of scheme for search of manuscripts. He developed a kind of plan for getting information of manuscripts beforehand, before visiting the particular town. Then he conducted various traditional sabhas and meetings and gatherings in various places. He used to converse in Sanskrit very fluently. So he used to influence people in that manner. And of course, Pandits and Shastris, they willingly showed their collection of manuscript to Bühler. These manuscripts were scattered in various places at that time, in various bhandars, mutts or temples, or in private collections. So Bühler was many a times first European to enter such private collections and bhandars. But he gained confidence of people. He explained to them government's purpose of collecting such manuscripts. It was for studying ancient literature and culture. So people willingly showed him their collections. He could obtain many important and rare manuscripts. His scheme was then adopted afterwards in 1868 by the government of India, and a pan-Indian project was constituted for search of manuscripts. Government allotted rupees 24,000 per annum for this project, divided in various presidencies. Bühler, along with Professor Bhandarkar and Professor Kilhorn, he worked in Bombay Presidency for this purpose. Of course, Professor Bhandarkar was his successor in this work. At that time, in 1868, the presidency was divided among two German scholars, Professor Bühler and Professor Franz Kielhorn. In 1868, Bühler accepted to become educational inspector in the Educational Department of Government of India. He was educational inspector of Northern Division of Bombay Presidency. So he had to travel a lot, visit various towns, inspect various schools, and he used this opportunity to interact with various social classes and, of course, to collect manuscripts. So he visited various bhandars, Jain bhandars in Gujarat. Then he was suggested by Sir Alexander Cunningham to extend his territory of search of manuscripts. So he went to Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, he visited many princely states and many royal libraries. He inspected many bhandars. He could procure many old and rare manuscripts. There is one incident worth narrating. He visited Jaisalmer. At that time, he was accompanied by Professor Hermann Jacobi of Bonn, another German Indologist. He could procure then a very important historical poem, a manuscript of that historical poem titled Vikramanka Devacharita. It was written on palm leaf. Vikramanka Devacharita is a biography written by a Kashmiri poet named Bilhana during 11th century CE. It is a biography of Vikramaditya VI of Chalukyan dynasty from Kalyani. So it is a biography written by a Kashmiri poet, biography of a southern king, and the manuscript was found in Jaisalmer. But the owners were not willing to part with the manuscript. So both the German scholars decided to copy the manuscript. And they did it in 6 days. And they copied the entire manuscript, which was, it was difficult to decipher the handwriting, but they still managed to complete the work. And now this particular manuscript written by Professor Bühler and Jacobi is deposited at the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. He collected many important manuscripts. He then visited Kashmir, and it was his very successful tour in search of manuscripts. He collected more than 800 manuscripts from that region. There are many important and rare manuscripts related with Kashmir and Kashmirian history, like manuscripts of Rajatarangini. Then there are manuscripts written on birch bark in Sharada script, which was in vogue in Kashmir during ancient and medieval times. The total number of manuscripts procured by Bühler almost reached to 2,800 manuscripts, even more than that. He brought to light many important works like Shabdanushasana of Hemachandra, a lexicon like Deshi Namamala, again by Hemachandracharya, Mahavira Charita written by Hemachandracharya again, and many historical poems like Vikramanka Devacharita, Gauda Vaho, Kirti Kaumudi, and so on. Many important treatises were brought to light by Bühler. And then there are some rare and important manuscripts, like manuscript of Rigveda written on birch bark in Sharada script. He procured it from Kashmir, and now this manuscript has been registered in UNESCO's Memory of the World Heritage Register. Then from the same collection comes the manuscript of Mahabharata, again written on birch bark and in Sharada script. The manuscript later proved important for preparing the critical edition of the Mahabharata, which was edited at the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. Manuscripts collected by Bühler, they are almost more than 2,800 in number, and they are now deposited at the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute's collection today. In 1880, he resigned from all the offices in India and he became the first professor of Indian philology and archaeology in Vienna. Then he turned his attention more to epigraphy. So now he is more well known for his contribution to epigraphy and particular to deciphering and editing Ashokan inscriptions. He wrote more than 150 articles on epigraphy and more than 50 articles on Ashokan inscriptions. There were many interesting inscriptions that were deciphered by Bühler. An inscription from Mathura uh, puzzled many scholars at that time. It was deciphered but made no sense. Bühler pointed out that the particular inscription should be read from below. I mean, not from top to bottom, but from bottom to top. That means the last line first, and so on. In Vakataka inscriptions, we come across a symbol, a kind of word, drushtam, and it comes at the beginning of the copperplate charter, but it is not directly related with the matter of the inscription. So scholars were not sure about the meaning of that word drushtam and how it is connected with the copperplate charter. Some scholars said that it could be just an auspicious symbol, but Bühler, because perhaps of his experience, administrative experience in India, he could uh, point out that this drushtam word is a kind of remark, like seen. This copperplate charter has been seen, is okay, has been checked, and now ready to issue or endorse. So it was a kind of remark by the officer to endorse the donation. Bühler's contribution to Jain studies is immense. During 19th century, many Western scholars believed that Jaina religion is just an offshoot of Buddhist religion because there are many similarities, but they didn't go into detail. So they thought that this is just a branch. Jaina religion is just one of the branches of Buddhist religion. But Bühler, with the help of inscriptions, proved that it is not so. It is an independent religion with very long history. Professor Jacobi also arrived at this very conclusion, but with the help of text. So, Professor Jacobi used textual data while Professor Bühler used inscriptional data. Bühler also refuted one of the theories put forth by Professor Max Müller, and that was the theory of Renaissance of Sanskrit literature. Professor Max Müller thought that there was a kind of dark age during 1st century BCE to 4th century CE as far as Sanskrit literature is concerned. There was no classical poetry during that period because of inroads of various foreign rulers and foreign invasions. And Professor Max Muller even placed Kalidasa in 6th or 7th century CE, which was totally wrong. Professor Bühler proved with the help of inscriptions again that there was ornate poetry prevalent during that period. So there were inscriptions dating back to 1st century BCE, uh, written in very ornate and artificial and alankarik language, so to say. So he proved, putting forth various arguments, that such a dark age was not there at all, and there was classical ornate poetry and literary activity was continuously going on in India. His contribution to Mahabharata studies is limited to a very few articles, but it was very important. One Professor Holzmann collected many evidences and various data from the text, that is Mahabharata, and arrived at some conclusions. But his conclusions were actually baseless and very weird. So Professor Bühler immediately refuted many of his theories. So Professor Bühler refuted many of his theories. Holzmann propounded that Mahabharata is a kind of Indo-Germanic text, and there was an nucleus of this text, and it gradually developed into the Shatasahasri Samhita, what we find today. And he propounded that it was, developing till 14th or 15th century. So there was very gradual development in the text, and it was forcibly turned into a Dharmashastric treatise. Professor Bühler's arguments were fatal to Holzmann's theory. He showed with the help of inscriptions again that the Shatasahasri Samhita, the Mahabharata, what we have today, it was not different in extent and in content even in 5th century CE. He used Gupta inscriptions and some inscriptions even from Cambodia to prove this. So he propounded that there was a continuous tradition of Pathana and Pathana of Mahabharata, and it was a Dharmashastric treatise even at that time. Professor Bühler wrote more than 20 books and more than 350 articles, and he contributed immensely to various branches of Indology. On 8th of April 1898, this ardent advocate of traditional views, especially related to origin and antiquity of Indian texts, he died in an accident. I pay my homage to the pious memory of this great scholar on his 184th birth anniversary.